disclosure, news and commentary number 59, 59, 59, 59, 59. Whew, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. I have still not gotten a haircut, as you can see. Looking shaggy. Zoinks! But it is what it is. Hope you're doing well. I'm struggling. But I'm doing well, and my kids have gotten into the martial art thing big time. So getting to teach them when they're really learning very effectively is a lot of fun, and it reminds me of how much I enjoyed teaching it. I taught martial arts prominently in two different occasions. When I was in Colorado, I ran a school called Ultimate Martial Arts. It no longer exists. Of course, once I left, what chance did they have? I was head instructor there. And then I ran a little thing called the Pretty Bandages Women Fight Club in Atlanta. And then I'll still occasionally get a client here in Florida. But teaching my kids is a whole lot of fun. Man, I really ran them through the ringer today. Now that we've lifted the stay-at-home order, instead of me not getting to have contact with the kids on my off week, now I can go there. Like, I had a mystery shopper thing for them to try. I needed their opinion about it so I could write it up for one of my hustles to make money, and then I get to teach them a martial art class in person, not over Zoom or some nonsense like that. Thank you to my patrons. Brett, Brian, Dan, Derek, Diana, Jeffrey, Josh, Larry, not that one, the other one, Logan, Rob Rod, Southern Honor, Double Drop Kick, Joseph Black, Proc the Croc, and of course our four big boys, Viral Pro Wrestling, Eric Walker, the Tag Team Transcendent, and the OG Myron. A lot of people sent me messages and texts letting me know how much they enjoyed Elena doing that and making fun of me and imitating me. It's not funny when my kids make fun of me. It's awesome. It's hilarious. Okay, what is our commentary about? By the way, apparently I did get something in my P.O. box. I don't check it every day now because, of course, things are coming in far less frequently, and I already have to go out way more than I would like to. How many times do I got to wash my hands and mask up and all that stuff for the mystery shopper job that I do? So I try to minimize my contact with people as much as humanly possible, which means I don't go by my P.O. box all the time like I used to. But I did get a notice from them that I did get something. So I'm sorry I didn't pick that up today. It just didn't work out with everything else that I was doing. Our commentary is about what you should be watching to help you with this wrestling thing. And it's because pro wrestling parallels a couple of other worlds. And one of them is the world of comedy. And so, this is Larry. Let me go ahead and take this call. Hey, Larry, how are you?
Excellent. How are you?
Oh, good. So, full disclosure, sorry. I'm recording full disclosure now. I was just about to talk about Tipping Point. Are we going to do Tipping Point on Tuesday, or are we going to hold it off?
Your timing's fantastic. 2 p.m. Thursday, Chico Adams. Does that work for you?
Yes. So we're going to interview Chico Adams at 2 p.m. on Thursday. Awesome. And then for the show the following Tuesday. So we'll take this Tuesday off, correct?
Yes, it will. We can upload it whenever we want, but it'll record 2 p.m. Thursday.
Great. So that's what we're going to do, everybody. And I think that's good anyway, because this looks like it's going to be a big AEW Dark this Tuesday. It's like every Georgia person in the universe is in it. So I definitely want to live broadcast it and really break it down and analyze it. So that works out perfectly, actually.
So we can talk to some AEW during the show, and we'll go from there.
Cool. Right on. Well, thank you, Larry.
Take care.
Right on. This is my life, and you're getting to see it. So yeah, there's no tipping point this Tuesday. I'm glad Larry called. His timing was fortuitous, but we did line up an interview with Chico Adams, who has shown up on WWE TV again and again and again. He had to be the only guy that worked WrestleMania and also worked AEW the same week. So Chico Adams is a guy I like a lot. I don't know anybody that's got a bad thing to say about Chico Adams, which means somebody probably does, because wrestling people can be dickheads. Yay. There's a lot of wrestling going on this week. In fact, I just found out that at 7 o'clock, which is why I'm rushing this, at 7 o'clock, they're doing this thing for Double or Nothing, the AEW thing that's showing up on the 24th. And they're having a big special about it. So you know what? I'm going to watch it. I'm going to get a lot more involved with sort of the national wrestling shows, watching them, breaking them apart. You know, it's what Jim Cornette does. It's what Brian Alvarez and that crew does. And I realized, like, I can fucking do it too. And so I'm going to give it the old college try, starting with Raw. And then I realized, oh my God, Raw's 3 hours. Am I really going to fucking watch that show for 3 fucking hours? I don't know. We'll see how I handled that. But what else is going on? I mean, when you look at Double or Nothing, like preview show at 7, Raw's at 8. Then tomorrow, AEW Dark, which is going to be almost, or maybe as many matches as they had last time, which was like 9. I couldn't even hang through all of them, but I'm going to this time. And then I'm going to break each one of those individual matches down in a separate thing. Whew. Then you got Dynamite and NXT, which now I've made a habit of watching both shows and flipping between the two. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. And then you got SmackDown on Friday. We'll see if I'm up for that. But what else is going on? Ike Cross retired again, is what it is. Lots of nice things were written about him on Georgia Wrestling History, gwhnewsandnotes.blogspot.com. Southern Violence, their show's coming up on the 6th, right? June 6th, which is Veronica's birthday. Veronica will be 9. Crazy. Next week is the kids' last week of school, and it's only a partial week to boot. Crazy. Somebody pointed this out about this whole time period where people are on lockdown and all this other stuff. They said it so brilliantly. I think it was Dan. Of course, it would be Dan. He's a very smart guy. You should be checking out his all his horror stuff. It's great. I need to do a review of it, but I religiously listen to it. I love it. And I think he's the one who said, you know, time, man, it's like, it feels like it's whipping by and going slower than it's ever been at the same time. I was like, it's a pretty apt way to put it. But Southern Violence is coming up June 6th, and Larry says he's going to attend because it's outside. So that's very exciting and very cool for Southern Violence, an honor. Hopefully they roll out the red carpet for old Larry. And I already went over the tipping point stuff that you got to hear on the live call with Larry. So we're going to have Chico Adams, and then we're going to do it next Tuesday, but not tomorrow, which is great because then I can really take in that AEW Dark stuff. And I don't have the kids, which means I won't be sort of interrupted with stuff. I can sort of give it my focus and all that great stuff. AEW's just done a number of great things. They really seem to be getting it together. It's weird that AEW Dark went from this thing of like 2 matches that are squashes to like 9 and then 9 again. It's like, it's madness, but it's kind of cool too, for sure. There's the Revolt Revival stuff. Again, you can read about it on gwhnewsandnotes.blogspot.com. My opinions on it are irrelevant, but I will say that Nick and Myron, in a little chat group that we're in, called this whole fucking thing like a while ago. Nick and Myron really know what the fuck they're talking about. And I believe that in this time where, I mean, I'm going through it, Rob Rod's going through it, they're going through it, where it's really hard to talk about wrestling, but they continue to find ways to make it good. And tapped out. If I wasn't broke as a motherfucking joke, I would definitely throw money their way on Patreon. Please do the same. Or you can even get the Geek Box or whatever it is through them. It doesn't cost you anymore to go through their link, but then they get some of the kickback on it. So definitely hit Nick and Myron up and help them out. And you should be listening to their fucking show anyway. And you should be listening to Rob Rod's shit. And you certainly should be listening to my stuff. And if you feel like throwing some money my brother's way, I would appreciate it. I work hard for the money. What else is going on? Oh, this is a serious story, so I need to bring it down. So Big Shad, fucking sad as fuck, man. So he's out swimming in the ocean. He's got his son with him. I think his son's 10 years old. And then a whole bunch of people get caught in this rip current. And if you don't know what that is, I mean, it's just basically the water basically pulls you under. It's very scary if you've ever been caught in one, and I have. You realize the power of the ocean and how insignificant we are next to the power of nature. That's what the word sublime means, is to be awed by how insignificant you are compared to the magnificence and power of nature. In any case, Shad, being the great father that he is, when the people came out to rescue, made sure they took care of his kid first, which they did. Thank goodness. But then he has been missing, and about an hour ago, they called off the search for him. So it definitely looks grim. It's definitely an incredibly sad story. I had a number of personal contacts with Shad, and I'm going to talk about that on Patreon because I just feel like it's a lot of what I'm going to say is not really appropriate for this forum. But yeah, fucking sad, man. So sorry. And if it's true, your last act was to make sure that your son was okay, it really doesn't get any more noble or wonderful than protecting those who are closest to you and that you love. And so you should be very proud of that. The last time he showed up in the news was when I think he was like foiled a robbery. So really a larger than life guy and a larger than life. And I'm very sorry about Big Shad. Before we get to the commentary, another story, and people have been sending me little clips of, I guess, at Stranglehold, they got together for probably just a bump around in the ring, and then it turned into this sort of impromptu show. From everything that I saw with those clips, it just looked like dog shit. What do you want me to say? But it's guys just fucking around in the ring. I mean, I know people sent me those clips in the hopes that I would completely bust their balls. I don't begrudge guys getting together in a ring and bumping around a ring and having a good time. I will say that if that was their very best effort, or if they had gotten in their mind that, okay, no, we're going to treat this like a show, and that's what they did. Holy fucking shit. So terrible. But look at me being nice. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say it was just a bunch of guys that are fucking around in a ring. Then they kind of kept going with it. But boy, was it shit. All right. Commentary. Tiger King. Everybody loves fucking Tiger King. Great. Fine. Wonderful. Watched it. I mean, it's a fucking Hostess Twinkie. You know, you eat it. It doesn't add anything to your life. If anything, it makes it a little bit worse. And then you move on. But I recently rewatched a series. It was a Showtime series called I'm Dying Up Here. I repeat that, I'm Dying Up Here. It was recommended to me by a good friend, and I watched it more than a year ago and loved it. Bad news. They did 2 seasons and then the show ended. Why is that bad news? It's especially because you'll watch it and you'll want it to keep going on and on and on. And wrestling people, you will learn more, and it will connect to you in a way that Tiger King hopefully does not. Tiger King is fine. I know it sounds like I'm just implying that everybody who watches that thing and enjoys it to that extent is a fucking moron. You're not a fucking moron. You're allowed to enjoy television, blah, blah, blah. Of course you are. But I'm Dying Up Here because it is much... It's put together in a way that if you're paying attention as a wrestling person of any kind, you will immediately identify with what's going on and connect to it and learn something. And it will appeal to you on an emotional level. The first time I watched it, I got so upset with the notion that it had ended after the 2 seasons when I wanted more, that I let that sort of cloud my thoughts about it. But on this rewatching, I've reconciled the fact that I believe the end of the second season is okay. Like, okay in the sense that I can find my peace with that show being done. And I think they did a great job. One of these, like, it felt like maybe they thought they might get renewed, but they were not 100% sure. So they kind of sent all the major characters in a clear direction so that if it was the last show, you could take some solace in, okay. But as far as race, as far as the relationship between talent and the office, making it big, money, how this underground thing starts to gain in popularity and how that changes the landscape, what's authentic versus inauthentic, all of these themes that are covered, and I'm dying up here. And again, I urge you to go watch this shit. Whatever you're going through in wrestling, chances are it's covered. And chances are it will give you a more nuanced understanding of pro wrestling and what you can do within it. Again, I don't generally go out and recommend things. So if I do recommend them, fucking pay attention. And you got to be able to break down the stories and the arcs and all of that. That's part of being, you can learn to wrestle in a ring. And you can learn to cut a promo to an extent. You can do wrestling great. But our goal is to get you to be a great wrestling person. And in order to do that, you have to think. And you have to problem solve. And you have to be able to take in more complex narratives, but render them in a way that's simple and easy to understand. That's what communication is. That's what art is. Art is the exchange of ideas. So, I'll wrap this up, make it short and sweet to make sure I get this thing up before 7 o'clock, where I'm watching Double or Nothing show. I'm excited. Check out I'm Dying Up Here. If you want other recommendations by me in past, I've recommended books and I've recommended this, that, or the other for you. I'm more than happy to do it. Go ahead and contact me. A lot more people, it seems, are contacting me about like helping them out with wrestling stuff, listening to their wrestling stuff, writing little blurbs about their wrestling stuff. Happy to do all of it. Keep in mind, I'm really happy to do all of it if you're paying me. But that's neither here nor there. Yay. Anyway, have a good week, y'all. You're going to be hearing, if not seeing, a lot more of me. Good to talk to you. This has been Full Disclosure.